The last time I made one of these puzzle names was about 3 years ago. And the reason why it's taken me 3 years to come back to this type of project is because I hated making them. I actually didn't even like how the end results looked. You could paint them. I don't like painting. I don't like to see the brush strokes. You could put like some label stuff over here. And I just didn't love the way that this ended up looking. So we're bringing back the project and we are gonna make it look absolutely phenomenal with custom patterns looking so great. A professional look like they made this. My husband actually told me I should finally start to consider myself as a professional. I don't think so, but I can tell you it does look like a professional did make this. But anyways, not the point. The point is I'm gonna show you how we make this. And I'm gonna show you how you make it the easy way, because there is no reason why we need to make crafting difficult, because this right here did not take me much time at all, but ended up turning out so amazing. So what we're gonna do today is we are gonna use our EufyMake UV printer and also my xTool P2S. The reason why I'm gonna use the P2S is because we are cutting really thick white clear acrylic. Now, if you didn't want to use acrylic for today's project and you had a diode laser cutter, you totally could. You just wouldn't be able to get a name puzzle, sorry, that looks like this, where you can see the cutouts like that. So you could do this all in wood if you want to. I'm gonna be using my xTool P2S because I have some really thick acrylic and I think that these end up looking so amazing using wood and acrylic. And then the EufyMake UV printer to print the really cool design. We are also gonna be using my favorite program, which is called Inkscape. It's free and we can pretty much toggle between the two machines without having any issues or hiccups. So let's head over into Inkscape and create the file, and then we'll use the EufyMake to put it all together. All right, so this is what your final puzzle is going to end up looking like, something similar to this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Command A or select everything, and I'm just gonna move it all to the side for right now, just so we can leave this little rectangle as our working area. So first things first, what you want to do is insert your name. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here into the text tool and we are just gonna click anywhere, doesn't matter where. Now what you wanna do is put in the name that you want. All right, now when you have your name put in, what you wanna do is come over here into the arrow tool, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this over here onto my white work area just so you can see what I'm doing. You don't have to put it where I put it. All right, if you wanted to change your text over to a different font, you wanna come over here into this T button, which is your text. And then at this point in time, you can choose a new text just by clicking. When you found one that you want, let me find another one. When you found one that you want, all you would need to do is press apply. See how it automatically gets changed? I think I'm gonna use this one right here. I actually like that one. Okay, pressing apply. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger so you can see. And you know, I do wanna add a little bit of spacing in between the letters. So I am going to double click on my name. I'm gonna Command A, select all, and I'm gonna come over here into this letter spacing up here, and I'm just going to make the spacing between the letters just a little bit more. All right, I have this spacing at 10. Now what I'm going to do is come over here and press the arrow tool. This is it. All right, now what we want to do is build our actual puzzle. Do you see that rectangle right there? We need to put that rectangle in so it can be what holds our name puzzle together, okay? So we're gonna insert this square that's right here, and I am just going to make this box just a little bit bigger than my actual name. All right, now you can tell that what we have, let me use this arrow tool. Don't use the arrow tool. I'm gonna show you though, but the difference. So do you see how this right here has hard corners and this right here has rounded corners? If you want rounded corners, you're still gonna be over here into this little thing. All you need to do is take this circle and drag it down. And when you drag it down, do you see how now you're getting rounded corners? So you can make your rounded corners however rounded you want. When you're done doing that, you just want to press the arrow tool. All right, so this is essentially what my finished thing is going to look like. It's gonna look like this, all right? We are gonna need a backer. You're gonna need one that looks just solid. You're gonna need another one that has the cutouts in it. So what you wanna do is with your rectangle, you wanna press Command D, which is duplicate. That Command D is on your keyboard, and it will look like nothing happened, but you just drag and put it up here. If you don't wanna do your keyboard shortcuts, taking this rectangle, the original one, you could have right-clicked and you could have pressed duplicate like that, okay? Now what we have to do is we need one more of these names, but before we do that, what we have to do is we have to change this into a cutting path. Right now, it's an editable text. If you were to save this and try to upload it anywhere, the text is gonna disappear because it's still a text box. So we have to take it from a editable text and turn it into a cut file. How you do that is you come up here into path and you do object to path or Command-Shift-C, okay? All right, now that we have that, what you want to do is by taking the name, you want to Command-D, which is duplicate. And we are gonna drag this over here. Let's drag this over here to the right. Now this right here, we're gonna cut out in the thick, clear acrylic. This right here is going to be our wood cutout, the top part. And then this right here is going to be the back. We are gonna glue two pieces of wood together, and then this will be able to place right into our thing without any issues. Okay, before we do that though, what we wanna do is these are two separate pieces right here, right? So what you wanna do is by selecting both pieces, and you wanna come up here into path, and then you wanna press exclusion. All right, it will look like nothing happened, but essentially you just took both of those two individual boxes and you created one. You'll know that you did the correct thing is if you come over here using like the background of your workspace, you can see that it's cut out and your lines are like that. This is perfect, okay? If you do the wrong one, I'm gonna show you. Let's see if we do the path and then difference, see how everything disappears? You don't want that. If you do path and then intersection, see how that larger rectangle went away? You don't want that either, okay? If we select both of these and do path and union, the name disappears. So the one that you want, just to make sure you do know, the one that you want is going to be exclusion on this one, okay? Now what we have to do is get our pretty floral design on here. Technically, you don't actually have to put it into this one. You can see I put it here. I do have it in here. Technically, you could just drag and drop it into the EufyMake and align it yourself later. But the reason why I have it here is I wanted to make sure that I had this on top of here like that. I wanted to make sure that everything lined up and looked really good. Like I had a really good pattern effect. So I'm going to choose to stay within the within the Inkscape software, just so I can guarantee that the print that I end up choosing will fit well within the letters. Like you can see, you can actually see the floral design really well. Okay, so I'm gonna go over to Creative Fabrica, which is my favorite spot to go. And let's go into, let's do construction pattern. All right, and I'm just gonna find a cute little pattern that I could use for construction vehicles, just something cute that will work for this. Oh, right here, this heavy, oh, I love this one. I think this one's going to be so cute. So you find whatever pattern you want to use and then just press the download button. Then what we want to do is we want to find our downloaded file, and I'm going to drag and drop it. Which one is this one? Quick look. Nope. Okay, I'm going to drag this one because it seems to be larger. I'm going to drag this one into the Inkscape, and I'm just going to press OK. All right, so for this, what I want you to do is come down here come over here, and I want you to send this to the back. Now this is extremely hard to see, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click my name, and I'm gonna change this over into a darker color so I can see the actual what's going on here. I'm gonna change it back to like no fill here in a second, okay? But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just make this smaller. because I want to be able to see those construction trucks. Do you see that? How it's just like, we're making it smaller. The original one, it was so blown up that you couldn't hardly tell what trucks were where. So I'm going to put this. I think doing this is going to be perfect. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert this, another rectangle, and I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger than my finished. I'm going to cover my name, okay? You don't want to make it bigger than your actual nameplate because you're going to have overspray of paint. So you just want to make sure that you're covering your name. All right, let's change this over to a different color. I'm going to press Shift on my keyboard. Oops, let's come up here into this arrow tool. With this selected, I'm going to press Shift on my keyboard and also click my pattern that I have. And I'm going to come up here to Object. I'm going to do Clip, and I'm going to do Set Clip. Awesome. Moving this over, this right here is going to fit onto here. I'm actually going to cut this out in wood. This is going to go over to the EufyMake. I'm going to print that on top of the EufyMake. Then I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to glue it on top of that. So that's what my finished file is going to end up looking like, just so you can get an idea of what all these pieces, moving pieces, look like. Okay, so let me move this over here. These 2, 3 things are going to need to be laser cut. This one right here is going to be printed with a EufyMake. I want to reset this just like what we have here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to take this fill and I'm going to remove the fill. Awesome. Now what I want you to do is I want you to select this right here, just the things that we are going to cut out with our laser cutter, and we are going to press this export button. If you don't have the export button right here, you can come up here into File and then Export, and this box will pop up. What you want to make sure and do is be selected on the selection. We're going to switch this over from a PNG to an SVG, plain SVG. We are going to direct this into my I'm going to go in my downloads folder. You can go wherever. Sean Name Puzzle. And then just press save. You want to make sure that you save this as an SVG file. Then what we're going to do is we are going to go into the xTool Studio, which is different than the xTool Creative Space. xTool just came out with a brand new software called xTool Studio. That's what I'm choosing to use for today's project. Okay, I am going to find that SVG file that we just created, drag and drop it into xTool Creative Space. Now, I'm sorry, xTool software. What is this? xTool Studio software. Okay, I am going to say no display at the original size. I do not want this to be resized. I'm going to take this, I'm going to right click and press ungroup. These letters right here, I'm going to set off to the side because that one we are going to cut it out in the thick acrylic, which is going to have different settings than cutting it out in wood. So what I need to do is insert my piece of wood into my xTool P2S, also turn my xTool on, and then we'll get to cutting this out. All right, that is set up. So what we want to do is make sure and be connected to our P2S. So I'm going to connect to it. And then what I'm going to do is set up my material settings to the correct material settings. All right, now what we want to do is an aimed measure. So I'm going to aim measure. It's so easy to use this machine and this software. I just love that everything is just so easy. Okay, I am going to select everything and I want to do everything as a cut. You want to make sure and cut this out. And I am going to do this one-click reference. For these ones right here, it's going to be different settings. These ones right here, I'm going to do this one-click, and I'm going to do a higher cut setting. Now what you want to do is put this onto your material. I'm going to cut it out just like that. Awesome. All right, now that we have that done, you just want to press process. This is going to take a total of 2 minutes and 31 seconds, which is wonderful. We're just going to press start. Okay, going over to the xTool P2S, you have to press the start button, but also make sure that your air filter is turned on. It's about ready to get real loud in here. Super loud in here, but you want to make sure and turn on your air filter or vent out of a window. You want to press the happy button at the top of your machine, and then you're going to let this thing cut. It's definitely loud in here. Not as loud as what it would be like if you had a Glowforge, but it's still pretty loud. Okay, while we wait for the xTool to get done cutting, what you want to do is head back over into Inkscape. We are going to take this file that we have, the pattern file, and you want to select it. You want to make sure that we are going to set on the selection. You're going to come over here, instead of doing a PNG or an SVG file, you want to do a PNG file. I want this DPIs, I'm going to set it to 300. The higher the DPI, the better the quality in print. We're going to come over here into this folder again, and I am going to do construction pattern, pressing save. Now what you want to do is head over into the EufyMake Studio software, and I am going to open up a new print page. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to drag and drop my pattern that we have into the EufyMake Studio software. Now it gets resized, which is annoying. So going back over into Inkscape, my file is 196.790 millimeters, 196.790. So coming back over into the EufyMake, 196.790. Okay, this right here is going to be my finished file, okay? Because I'm waiting for the xTool to get done cutting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my material to wood. I'm just going to do a standard print, and I'm going to do a white and CMYK finish. Actually, you know what? Let's do white CMYK and then gloss. And then I'm going to do 2 layers of gloss just to see what that looks like. So when ink modes are actually pretty important, and you can see it right here, where you have max layers is 12. But what they say here, ooh, it's done, is white. When you're printing on wood, you're gonna need more layers of white because wood is really porous. So we are going to do a lot of layers of white, 1 layer of CMYK, we'll do 2 layers of gloss. Okay, before we do that, what you wanna do is take everything out of your laser cutter. All right, this is what our finished cuts will end up looking like. We're gonna put this in the EufyMake. Some people throw this away. I actually use it and glue it onto my finished puzzle because I think it's necessary. What we want to do is now we want to first, we're going to put this into the EufyMake and start printing because that's the thing that's going to take the longest. So let's go and put this inside the EufyMake. So what I wanted to do was use this one because it would actually fit onto the small one. My last one did, but it didn't. So we're just going to use this large one. So I'm going to put this large one on, or this piece of wood, onto my flat mat, just like that. Now what you want to do is head over into the EufyMake Studio software and press that snapshot button. The reason why you do a snapshot is so it takes a live preview of what's inside your EufyMake. Then you can align your pattern onto your piece of wood and not have any issues. Now, while we wait for that to get done doing its thing, what we can do is go back into the xTool software. We'll press finish on our xTool. We're gonna drag in these and set them to the side because we don't need them. This right here, we need to cut out in thick acrylic. So I'm gonna go put some thick acrylic inside my xTool. All right, now with that, you wanna press refresh on your screen. And I'm going to release these compounds so they're individual letters. That way I can move them around. All right, now what you want to do is reset your material settings. So I am going to do, it's a 1/4 inch thick, it's thick acrylic. All right, I am going to do an aimed measure. This just makes for crispy cuts. I'm going to put my pieces of cutouts onto my material, but I am going to kind of nest my items so I can conserve on material. All right, we are going to set in our new cuts. So I'm going to do that one right there. Now we want to press process and then press start. This is going to take 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Oh, this is still doing its snapshot. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and head over to the xTool and just press the happy button so I can get my acrylic cut out. All right, now that we have that photo alignment done, I can take this and move this onto my piece of wood. just like that. When we have that done, all you need to do is press print. What's happening now is the computer is sending the file over to the EufyMake UV printer. This in total is going to take 2.32 milliliters, which actually is about 1 milliliter is about 40, it's about 50 cents, a little under 50 cents. So we're looking at like $1.25, not bad. All right, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna press this button at the top of your machine. This is going to get done printing, and we have the xTool cutting as well. This was such an easy project that you can get done within 30 minutes. Well, I guess it depends on the printing here, but like the cutting of the wood, the cutting of the acrylic doesn't take long. Setting up the file doesn't take long at all. And then the end results, like gluing it, it's going to go by super fast. It does take time to glue, but outside of that, like this project, I think is one of those coolest projects that you can make that doesn't actually take a whole lot of time to finish from start to finish. All right, now that's done, I can turn off my xTool. All right, while we wait for the print to get done printing, it's significantly quieter in here without the xTool running for sure. But what you want to do is just peel off all the masking tape off of your acrylic. I probably could have used a better setting for my acrylic. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, but there is like some weird cuts in that. It's Flashback, that's what that is. So what that means is I had too high of power or not enough speed. So next time I need to choose a better setting. But for content purposes, yeah, get the picture. When I gift this, I will gift it with the appropriate letters cut out so they don't look so janky. And actually, like this one doesn't seem that bad. This one actually doesn't have any pitting in it at all. So I guess it just depends. I don't know what happened. Why did it choose that? I don't know. It's so weird. The N was terrible, but the S and the A look great. This one looks good too. All right, now we just gotta wait for that thing to get done printing so we can assemble it all together. Won't take that long, but we gotta wait for that to get done printing. Alrighty tidy, now all we gotta do is glue it. That's it, that's all we gotta do. It's really that easy. I'm gonna be using silicone based glue because I love it. This guy doesn't sell his glue anymore, or he should. I keep begging him, but this right here is just silicone based glue. The reason why I love silicone based glue versus wood glue is because this stuff, it dries 100% clear. And so if you got any type of like glue that seeps out anywhere, it's not going to leave this like yellow residue. It's just gonna leave a clear residue. So I also rebottle it into a needle nose type jar, just so you don't use a whole lot of glue, because you really don't need to over glue things. You just have to have like the perfect amount, you know? So I like to put just a little bit of glue around my entire project. Something like this. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell. There ain't a whole lot of glue on there. All right, I'm gonna put this. You know what I do need to buy? I need to tell my husband this. You need to buy those like clamp down things, you know, to like clamp them down. But this will be all right. Okay, so for the A, let's put this in here. Oop, I was like, where did it go? I need to glue this down, this small little inside piece. I know there are people that don't actually glue the insides of the letters. If that was you and you want to do that, you totally can. I like the look of it when it actually has the letters glued on the inside. So I'm just going to use the A, the letter A, as my guide. And I'm going to stick my center letter thingy in there. It's just like this. So you can have it without. I prefer it with it in. But then you can put everything else inside the letters. And I need some sort of clamp to glue this down to make sure the two letters stick, or the two pieces of wood stick. But this is what your finished project is going to end up looking like. And I like using the thinner wood for this so you can easily, you know, pick them up with your hands. This one right here, I used thicker wood, 2 thick pieces of wood, and glued them on there. And what happens now is when I try and I'll show you. Okay, so these ones, like, you can't really get them out really well. You have to turn it over for the letters to release. This one, you don't have to do that because they're on the thicker side, so you can just lift them up. I'm not gonna do the A because I don't want to ruin that one, but you can just lift them up just like that. But that is the end results. That is our finished project. Didn't take much time at all. And we have something that is super customizable to anyone, any font, any pattern, anything that you wanted. These turn out so good. They make really good Christmas gifts and birthday gifts and stuff like that, or even newborn gifts. They make really good gifts. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I'll see you later.